You see that? There he is! Right between the eyes, mofo! Shoot! What happened here?
VRified Games.
What's up, player? Yeah. Al, living dead talking head. Coming to you live at Daigo on VRified Games. How we doing, Daigo?
Hey Ed, how's it going?
Oh, it's going, man. It's going. I don't know about good, but it's going. Alright. What are we all doing today?
Well Ed, you know how throughout the history of gaming there's been these tentpole titles?
Tentpole. What?
Yeah, you know, a certain game that comes along and kind of makes everyone go, whoa, and then it changes how that genre is produced going forward.
Huh?
Yeah, like in the 8-bit era you had Mario Brothers, and then how every other platformer after Mario Brothers kind of tried to emulate it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then when things shifted from 2D to 3D, and you had Doom,
I've gotta find a way out of here.
and how every first-person shooter after Doom tried to emulate it.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, genres evolve and they change. When we moved from 2D sprites to 3D polygonal graphics, how, you know, we had to rethink how we played games. So we'd come up with things like Tomb Raider. So we had new systems, new ways of traversing 3D environments, which became known as third-person perspective games. And then you take established genres and you build upon them and you do something new with them, like, say, Half-Life 2 with its physics engine, this kind of thing.
Yeah, I get you.
Well, this is one such tentpole title. This is 2004's Far Cry.
Oh, Far Cry. Yeah.
Yeah, Far Cry. It's basically Ubisoft's answer to Half-Life. It'll take everything that they've done there and it builds upon it, makes it bigger, better, bolder. And it began the open world genre.
Oh.
Yeah, sure, there were games before that attempted open world. They were more linear based, like we still hadn't got our heads around how open world should be. Far Cry was definitely the first to solidify the mechanics of the open world first person shooter. Now, with subsequent titles in the series going forward, like Half-Life 2 and so on, it got refined, it became bigger, better, bolder, and every other open world based game owes something to Far Cry and its mission structure and how everything kind of worked and gelled together.
Listen, dirtbag! Keep an eye out for some punk in a red Hawaiian shirt. If you see him, call me at once. Am I understood?
Yes, sir!
I'm heading out!
Oh, okay, cool. Well, why are we playing a game from 2004 in 2023?
Yeah, we're not just playing Far Cry here, Ed.
Is that someone there?
No, the Far Cry VR mod just recently updated to 1.0, so it's basically done. You know, it'll go through some refinement, I'm sure, but it's basically done. It's ready. All the mechanics are in place. It's good to go.
Oh, alright. So we're playing it in the VR.
Whatever, not my problem.
And it's not like Vulpex, it's
What's going on over there?
a damn mod.
Yeah. So you got full 60OF, stereoscopic 3D, 60OF motion controls, weapon handling. You can handle your weapon with two hands, one-handed, throw grenades, climb up ladders as you would in real life. Yeah.
Hello? Are you there? Pick up the radio if you can hear this. I know you're there. I've been tracking you since you and Val arrived.
Who are you?
I'm the guy who's going to tell you how to survive. Call me Doyle.
How do I know I can trust you?
Well, for starters, how about the fact that I haven't turned you in? That radio has a bioreader. Since I know you're there, I could have ratted you out already.
Good point. Keep talking.
Listen, you need to get out of there and quickly. I'll help you as much as possible, but you don't have much time. There's an exit that will lead to a small camp. Be careful as you go. This area is crawling with mercenaries.
By the way, name's Jack Carver.
Far Cry is now basically a VR title, and the installation could not be simpler, so yeah, we give Carl the day off.
You annoying motherfucker.
Yeah, we give him the day off. He is not required. Basically, it couldn't be simpler. Just go to the link in the description, download the installer, install it.
My reports say you're in a red shirt. I suggest you grab some body armor and cover it. You'll be easily spotted.
Basically, point to where your Far Cry game folder is, install it, and then just launch the FarCryVR.exe and you will be in VR. Could not be simpler. And you know, there are a host of VR options in there as well that you can mess around with, like snap turn, smooth turn, your weapon angle, all sorts of little quality of life additions. So what can we really say about Far Cry?
Hey, some good news. I'm picking you up much more strongly now. I suggest you search the huts for weapons and equipment.
Well, it was the beginning of the open world genre, so, you know, for players in 2004, this was something immense. You wake up on this tropical island, and you can go anywhere, do whatever the hell you want. It's a huge, big sandbox, essentially, but you get missions. Like little linear missions that you can go on, side quests as well. They can intersect, they can change, you can do them in whatever order you want. That was open world, and that is, even now, almost 2 decades later, the blueprint of open world gaming, and how the mission structure, gameplay structure, story-wise, how that all works, can all be tied back to Far Cry. Now,
Stay low and avoid contact if possible. You don't really want to alert the guards.
if you were playing Far Cry today, you might think, okay, it's a little bit dated, what have you. Trust me, this game was absolutely stunning upon its release. It was absolutely praised for the water physics alone. And yeah, it built upon like what Valve had done with their Half-Life 2 source engine with the physics and everything. It took a leaf out of that book. It has its own physics engine. It's very robust, very comparable. Yeah. Now, if you were one of those people like me who first experienced Far Cry on console, man, we did not know the half of it. We got an absolute watered down version of this game. Like, because Far Cry was huge, it was immense.
You see that? There he is! Right between the eyes, mofo! Shoot! What happened here?
You couldn't fit that on a disc. For like the Xbox or whatever back in the day. So what we got was very, very pared down. It was linear based levels. It was no longer open world. The enemy AI, which was praised on PC, was basically broken. Again, down to file size limitations. You couldn't put all the code in there. Now, they tried to rectify that with the 360 version of the Xbox game, which was called Far Cry Instincts. It was basically just a graphical upgrade. All of the problems that were present in the console version of Far Cry were still there. It still wasn't a patch on what the PC version was. So, along comes Far Cry Instincts Predator, which was basically a standalone DLC. And, you know, it added these kind of beast abilities. Yeah, it still wasn't a patch on what the PC version was. The AI in the PC version.
Jack, I've been able to tie your compass in with the transceiver. This means that now I can supply you with a bearings marker. It should give you a rough idea of where to go at least.
Like, these enemies will work together, they will flank you, they'll run around you. You couldn't predict what they were going to do. It was fantastic. The open world aspect, amazing. Go anywhere, do anything. All of that was missing from the console version. And there was multiple console versions. There was the Xbox 360 version, and then there was the Wii version, which again was watered down. It's like a side story.
Use your binoculars to survey the surroundings. Notice that they have a sound enhancer and movement tracker. Dr. Krieger has fitted everyone on the island with locator signals that you can track to the house.
I don't know, it was very weird. You never got a PC version Far Cry on console until the release of Far Cry Classic. Very, very bizarre, different versions of this game. But the PC version was and remains the definitive way to play the original Far Cry. Now, this spawned a franchise. Although the games are numbered Far Cry 2, 3, 4, etc. And some would argue that the Crysis series is part of it. It's not, but they would argue that it is. None of the games are actually connected in any way other than the gameplay mechanics. And the fact that every game, you're a stranger in a strange land kind of thing, and you have to navigate your way around. Other than that, they're all...
You should try to acquire one of their vehicles and drive to the helicopter refueling pad. It's on the other side of the island. From there, you can use one of their boats to escape.
Very, very different in terms of story and content, but they all play the same. The mission structures are all the same, open world, all of that. It's the same from game to game, and it gets refined with each title. So yes, Far Cry definitely deserves that kind of tentpole status title that it's earned. It's up there with Half-Life 2, with Doom. It's up there in terms of revolutionizing the genre going forward from that point. And now in VR, you can experience it all over again in a whole new way. For people who've never played the original or have only played the console version, jeez Louise, you guys. You owe it to yourselves. Get that headset on you, get playing. Okay, yeah, not too much more to say about Far Cry, so I guess we're going to leave it there, Ed.
Take care. The mercenaries are trained to work together. If you alert one, they will bring others.
Yeah, so like, comment and subscribe. If there's any thoughts, queries and critiques, put them down below. If indeed there are any games you'd like us to look at VRifying in the future, put those down below and we will presumably get back to you. And yeah, VRified Games out.
Yeah, VRified Games out in the wild. And where we gonna go? What we gonna do? I don't know. It's gonna be fun.